Welcome back to another episode of Target Talk. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Justin. I got Mike.
What up?
And joining us today via Zoom is Andy Whittier, Skeleton. Andy, thank you for joining us. How have you been?
Hey guys, I appreciate being here. No bad days. Like every day is a great day out here.
Oh man, that sounds great, man. We definitely appreciate you coming through to the show, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys reaching out, and having me on. It's pretty cool just to talk about skeleton in general. One, like my friends and family know I do it, but then just to get to share the message to dudes who appreciate sports and just kind of want to get this niche sport of bobsled and skeleton out to the world. It's an honor to be here, so I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and jump right on into it. We'll start at the very beginning. You grew up in Pocatello, Idaho.
Mhm.
Tell us about how life was growing up there.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know a lot about Idaho, but it's still a lot of small town, rural country. It's great. It's definitely somewhere you want to raise a family. I'm thankful to be raised there. For the friends I have back there, being raised under a single mom, with an older brother and older sister as well, really kind of shaped me into who I am today, especially with those friends I had growing up through elementary school and middle school and high school. Um, and it's gorgeous, right? It's like the memories I have now of just like being with my dudes and my friends from the neighborhood. We're out all night playing games. We're playing hockey. We're playing basketball. We're playing kick the can uh, in a neighborhood of we're all safe. So it's like your childhood. It's like what you see on the Sandlot. It's just beautiful. The kids are just out having fun, and it's those type of memories is basically what it was like growing up in my little town of Pocatello.
Cool, cool. So, I mean, you kind of touched on some of the sports you played growing up. What's the sports scene in general in Idaho? What was that looking like when you were growing up?
For me personally, coming from a single income family, my mom told me choose one sport. That's all you're gonna play, right? A lot of kids when they're growing up play flag football, baseball, basketball, t-ball, soccer, a bunch of stuff like that. Um, I chose football. That was my passion as a little kid, so that's what I played my entire life from 10 years old until I got into skeleton and what I'm doing now. But the sports scene as a whole is very competitive. Uh, from the southeast side of Idaho to the west side over in Boise, you've got some really good football, baseball, basketball, and soccer athletes that from those two regions go on to represent the state at the collegiate level from Division One at the highest level down to D3 and across the spectrum, really dominating at any sport that's out there. So it's a real slept-on state. One of my biggest dreams was always to take my group of dudes that we had in high school for football, and just go play those big name schools like IMG and Mater Day and stuff like that. And be like, I want to see how good these kids really are, but that never happened. So, but it's pretty cool to see people from my state go on to bigger and awesome things.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned growing up playing football and how
Mhm.
that was a passion for you. Did you ever see yourself having an NFL career?
I mean, that's the dream, right? For every kid that straps on the helmet, puts on the shoulder pads, is like you're watching the 32 teams on Sunday, and you're like, man, I want to play for one of these when you grow up. Uh, and as you go through the ranks from middle school to high school, and then a college opportunity arises, and then you do everything at that next level to put yourself in a position. You're like, maybe this is an opportunity. Uh, I'll see what I can do. All you can do is put your best foot forward and give it your best shot, right? So I had my pro day with Idaho State University. I put up some really good numbers, which would have put me in the top five and top 10 categories for defensive backs across the FCS and FBS category. But my destiny wasn't to play in the NFL, but the dream was always there, but that's not the way the destiny had it written.
Did you have a favorite football team growing up?
Yeah, my favorite football team is the Denver Broncos. I'm ride or die, whether we're good or we're bad. I'm true to fan can be.
Okay, okay.
Well, we can relate. We're Cowboys fans, so we've been struggling for the last 30 years.
Every year is your year.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
We're a little bit more realistic
Yeah.
than most Cowboys fans. So being a Broncos fan, do you have a favorite player of all time? Would it be Peyton?
It would not be Peyton, actually. I'm a little more old school than that. I grew up watching the film from John Elway's time. Uh, so pretty cool watching Elway and Terrell Davis and Rod Smith and some of those guys uh, and what they did from the late 80s through the 90s. Been to a lot of Super Bowls. Didn't turn out the way we wanted them to the late 90s.
Yeah. What do you think about the current Broncos right now?
I'll be honest, I don't follow it super closely now just because I'm overseas during the season, competing for myself in the country. But I'm a big Bo Nix fan. So that man takes us to the promised land. I'm all in.
Right, right.
Well, that's awesome. So as we talked about, after college, you tried some different avenues to continue your
Mhm.
football career, but that really didn't work out for you. What kept you motivated during that time to just keep pushing?
Yeah, so after college, had a couple tryouts with the Canadian Football League, three of them. Did my best, like I said, put your best foot forward, see what happens. Nothing panned out, and I was always a late bloomer, kind of through puberty and everything like that, from high school to college. And I was like, man, I still feel like I've got it in me. I just don't know what is that next athletic step. And so I just stayed up on my game, stayed training because when you're in love with the process, that's all that really matters until the next opportunity arises. And then doom scrolling through social media one day, I came across an online ad that said, try out for USA bobsled skeleton. Send us your 40-yard dash, your broad jump. What was else? What was the other one? I don't remember what. Oh, just yeah, your 40-yard dash, your broad jump, and your highlight tape from whatever sport you played. And so I did that. I kept training all summer, resent in my numbers, and that was on a Saturday. Had an email back on a Sunday, phone call on a Monday, and then a month later, I was in Park City, Utah, sliding down some ice.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind of events because I'm like, I looked into it, and the first thing I thought when I saw this, I was like, I know what bobsled is. I've seen cool runnings, kind of like most people. And then I looked up what skeleton was, and I'm like, man, they want us to go head first down this icy water slide. I'm like, I don't know about that. At 85 miles an hour, I'm like, I'll go be a bobsledder. And then I showed up, and they're like, yeah, you're too small to be a bobsledder. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll do skeleton. And now that's what I've committed to.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's awesome. Definitely an interesting way to get into your current sport.
Mhm.
Could you explain just for the audience what skeleton is exactly, just in case they don't know?
Yeah, so there's three sliding sports when it comes to the Winter Olympics. Most people are well aware of what bobsled is. The other one that people are aware of is luge, where luge you go feet first. With skeleton, you go head first and you're by yourself. And we're all going down the same track.
Oh.
Man.
Yeah.
So your first time
Mhm.
trying skeleton out, what was that experience like?
Yeah, so in Park City, there's 15 curves, and your first day there, that you get fitted to a sled, and they take you halfway up the track. They lay you on the ice, and then you get a little get hear the intercom go, track is now clear for Andy Whittier. And you're laying there and there's a track worker and he'll just gently push you into curve six and you're not going very fast because you're only halfway up the track. And you enter the belly of this curve and all of a sudden like you're tucked in and you're like, of all the life choices I've made, how did I get here? And so you're kind of thinking that the whole way down for about, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds because you're not going very fast, like I said, but you're still going to touch some walls because you don't know what it's like. And you're like, I'm supposed to go way faster than this and I got to get to the top. It's just kind of like your life choices of like, what did I do to end up in this position right now?
Oh man.
Man. So what was it? What was it like telling your family and friends? Because like you mentioned at the top, it's kind of a niche sport. So
Yeah.
like, what was it like telling your loved ones, like, "Hey, I'm about to get in the skeleton off of this ad that I found online."
Yeah, I don't think I told many people about it in the beginning just because I was like, I don't want to get people's hopes up. Like, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know enough about this. So I told a couple people, And the response was like, all right, like go try it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You get told no, you come back home and you continue your career at the credit union and you continue your career coaching football. And the best that happens is the path I'm on right now. So it was a kind of like a reassurance of like, if you don't try this, you're only going to hate yourself for not trying it, right? Uh, yeah, it and like thinking back to those days now, it's kind of crazy because I told my work, the Lookout Credit Union that I had just started working at for about 4 months, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go do this thing down in Utah. Can I have 2 weeks off? Not even 2 weeks off. Can I just go work remote and for 2 weeks? And they're like, yeah, yeah, sure, go do that. I'm like, that's crazy, but you let me do it, and it turned out great.
Nice.
That's good that you have the support to be able to at least go try this thing. And here we
Yeah,
are now.
yeah, and I'm super thankful for those guys. Like I can't say it enough. Like they still sponsor me in my career now, so I started my career with those guys. I love them, and this is Lookout Credit Union for them. I would wholeheartedly do anything they would need me to do to help them out at any time.
For sure, for
Yeah, that's
sure.
awesome. So what type of training do you have to go through to get into shape for skeleton?
Yeah, so that's kind of one of the cool things, right? Is like when we train, uh, it's all year round, right? Like there's no off period per se. Um, we train from May 1st up until March 31st, and that's about the end of the season is March 31st, but summer training starts May 1. So you kind of get April off, right? Basically just enough time to breathe and take a long enough nap to catch your breath. Um, and during the summer, it's a lot of weightlifting, putting on weight, getting stronger, getting powerful, getting faster. Uh, and then after that, it's also the cognitive side of it and the mental stability that it takes because now you're going to be overseas, you're going to be away from your friends and family, you're going to be around the same 6 to 10 people for the next 6 months. um, so you got to be able to handle that mentally. You got to study your tracks every day so that way when the time comes and you only get 6 minutes of ice time a week and then you have to race, you've taken 1,000 mental reps that you already know what's going to happen on the ice. And then you do that all summer. And now we get into the season, and you're still going to keep up with your weight training and your sprinting and everything like that. But now you also have to integrate that into the actual season of sliding, right? So it's show up in a country, we're 3 days at the track, 2 to 3 runs a day, and then we race. And it might be a double race, so we might race 2 days in a row, or it might be 1 day race, travel for the next day or 1 to 3 days, show up at the next track and repeat and do that for from the end of October until the end of March. And and that's the whole season. It's the training never ends. And the mental aspect of this is wild because no two tracks are the same. You can treat two corners similarly, but you can't treat every track the same.
Okay.
Man,
Yeah.
sounds like a very grueling schedule.
It is like our training schedule. I'm just going to give some insight for like our summer training right now in Lake Placid. Uh, it, it's wake up, alarm 6:45, breakfast from 7 to 7:30. This is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have 7 to 7:30. Uh, 7:30 to 8 is a warm up. From 8 to 10 is sprints and plyometrics. From 10 to 11 is a quick recharge nap. From 11:30 to 1:30, we're doing a weight room session. From 1:30 to 2 is sauna. Uh, and then from 2 to 5 is like your downtime relaxation period. And that's when you like get all your work done because we're all still working during all this too. And then from 5 to 6 is dinner. 6 to 7 is those mind runs and the mental stuff that I talked about as well. And then 7 to 8 is recovery, Normatec, roll out, feel better. 8 to 9 is some hot tea and a movie, and bed by 9:30.
Man,
That's every day, and then working when you can on top of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Sorry, one of the ways we describe it is like this is a full-time job that you get paid for once every 4 years.
Mm,
yeah.
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 Um. So how, besides the path that you took to become a skeleton,
Mhm.
what's another way that others can get into that if they so choose?
Yeah, so pretty cool thing we're doing right now. I think there's only one left, one or two left this summer, but we are doing national combines throughout the country. I recommend following USABS on Instagram. That talks about where those in-person combines will be, and they're going to test a lot of the same stuff I mentioned earlier. If it's at a gym and they have the equipment available, they'll probably do a sled test as well. So you push a heavy sled just to see kind of what your form looks like, how strong and powerful you are. You can also go to usabs.com and there's a recruitment link in there as well. And you can go through our website that way. And then I think we're paired with GMTM and you can do a virtual combine as well. So there's not like you have to come to one certain place. It's we're going across the country trying to find athletes who may have not had the opportunity to go pro, but are still looking for that outlet uh, to continue their athletic career. And maybe it's in this sport, maybe it's bobsled, maybe it's skeleton. And this is just a great opportunity for those guys and girls to see what's next. What is your next professional athlete option?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's
Yeah.
any specific sport that translates the best into bobsledding?
People will say track, just because of all the sprinting focus that we do. And I'm not going to disagree with that because I would say our top two sports are track and football that transition best into this. But we do have a couple baseball players, we've had some softball players, a couple soccer players, really stuff that's focused with speed, more speed and power. Anything associated with those two worlds is what's going to associate well within the skeleton and bobsled world.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to represent the USA on that for skeleton? Being on that level's got to be very special for you.
It's it's so much bigger than you could ever imagine. Like, it's one thing representing, right, your high school in your local town, and then representing your university across the nation, right? But now you're representing the country as a whole and what we represent to the entire world. And it's so unfathomable to even like comprehend that type of feeling because now you were the best in high school. Great. You're best for a couple 100,000 kids across the country. All right. Now you're the best, or among the best. I shouldn't say the best. You're among the best for college sports. And then you get to the professional level. And now we have the NFL and NBA and MLB and stuff like that. And those guys are the absolute pinnacle of their sports. And now we're looking at the entire world and we're like, we're trying to be the 0.5% of a percent among the entire planet. And so to be able to wear the red, white, and blue and the stars and stripes and represent the USA is next level. It's a very emotional feeling when you're on top of the podium and you hear our national anthem playing. It is one of the most heartfelt moments I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a whole country rooting for you. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like it's not just about you, right? Like we matter nothing. The stars and stripes and the people back home, that's who it's all for.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Have you had what? Let me say it like this: what's your most memorable moment so far in your skeleton career?
My most memorable moment, honestly, it's been this past year. Uh, I had my most success this year. Uh, I won the North American Cup title this last season. I was our uh, U.S. national push champion in October as well. But all of that culminating into racing in Park City, Utah this year. It was our, I don't know, like 5, 6 race, something like that. And we go into it, and day one, of racing. The ice was feeling good. The ice was fast. The weather was perfect. Some other countries had brought down some other athletes from a circuit above us to race, and we're going, and it's a combined time, so we get two heats, right? So my first heat, I go down. I'm sitting in first place by 100th of a second, and then we can talk time and stuff in a couple minutes, but I'm sitting in first place by 100th of a second, and now I have to wait for everybody else to go before me for the second heat because first place goes last. You go from slowest to fastest. And I go down. I don't have my cleanest run. I end up taking silver this day. And yeah, that's cool and everything, but I'm like, that's to me, I don't want that, right? If I'm here to win. And so day two comes, and when I was leaving the track the night before, one of my teammates, Bradley Nickel, he leans over to me. He's like, "Hey, I know you're not happy with your position, but I want you to know the guy who just beat you took bronze in the last Olympics." And I was like, that's not a bad person to lose to, but I hate losing. I hate losing more than I enjoy winning. Um, so day two comes, and the ice is even faster. Everybody's feeling good. I'm feeling good. Race time comes again. First heat goes. I'm sitting in first place again, and I'm like, all right, we got one thing to do. Just run, slide. That's it. Nothing else in this world matters. Uh, I do my job. I was 24 hundredths away from the track record, so that was pretty cool. Secure first place, so get the gold medal, and end up beating the guy on the day two. So it was that was probably the pinnacle of this past season, was knowing I could come back from such a narrow loss the day before, regroup, slide my ass off, do my job, and secure the gold medal for the USA, and listening to our national anthem on our home track with our home fans.
Yeah, that's an amazing accomplishment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild when you think about like how the difference between medals, and I've come to realize this a lot more lately, is if we're thinking just Olympic terms, right? Uh, Whoever wins gold obviously has the fastest time. And then the difference between first place medal and fourth place no medal can be 300ths of a second. And to put that in perspective, right? We watch a fastball from the MLB, right? They're throwing 100, 102. They're throwing fast, right? That's 4/10ths of a second. We have time to react to that. We can see that pitch. We can't fathom 400ths of a second.
Yeah,
And that can go from a medal to you just being at the Olympics.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Oh
that's
man.
like you said, you hate losing. That's really got to bother you if you lose by that little.
Yeah, it's a different world. Like the guy said it, I hate losing more than I enjoy winning, just
Yeah,
because winning is the expectation. And if you don't, in my mind, if I don't live up to that, I'm like, what have I done? What did I mess up on the route to get here that prevented me from being at the top?
right.
Yeah. So I imagine like all sports, skeleton and bobsledding as a whole must be pretty competitive, especially from your mentality.
Yeah, it 100% is. And so that's one of the cool things about the way our circuits work is you have World Cup, European Cup, and North American Cup. And you slide and you race against your own teammates uh, to fill those race allocations, right? So even if we had 50 people on the team, not all 50 people are going to race, right? So the men right now have 13 sled allocations, and it's going to go by race points. So at the end of every season and the beginning of every new season, we have four races, two here in Lake Placid, New York, two in Park City, Utah. And based off of times and points, that's who's going to go on each circuit, right? So top three go to World Cup, middle four go to European Cup, and then the next six go to the North American Cup. And then we'll filter in some rookies and some development people uh, into those North American Cup races as well.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, nice. Um, what's one piece of advice you would give for anybody going into this skeleton or bobsledding?
It is one piece of advice. Take everything with a grain of salt because everybody's path is gonna be drastically different, right? Some people are gonna be dark horses, come in right away and dominate. Other people, myself, for example, you're gonna have to grind your way through um, and make some sacrifices along the way. Not a lot of people are prepared to make the sacrifices that this sport will force you to accept, uh, just because you are going to be away from friends, from family. You're doing something that a 0.5% of the population even understands. And so finding the right people to talk about it with early is very important.
Yeah.
Good advice.
I can imagine being away from family and friends can take a toll on you for so long.
Yeah, so it's like when we're out here training, Lake Placid, New York, uh, it's kind of isolated. Like we're upstate New York, we're closer to Montreal than anywhere else. Like that's the closest big city. And then Albany, the capital, just south of us. But training here and being where you want to be, you're gonna miss birthdays, you're gonna miss weddings, you're gonna miss big events in other people's lives that they expect you to be at. And those are sacrifices that down the road it's going to come to, kind of like I said, what did I not do to put myself in the best position to win? Do you just want to be here? Do you just want to be on the boat to be on the boat? Or do you want to be on the boat to get to the destination, right? You want to help paddle the boat. And if you just want to be on the boat, go do those things. That's fine. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. But if you want to be here to be the best, I need you rowing this boat with us.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah. Um, Out of all the places that you travel to, I know you don't really have a lot of free time, but is there any place that you feel like was your favorite place to travel to?
So far, Norway has been my favorite place. I look forward to visiting a lot more places over in Europe this year. But the way I envision the sport going, for me personally, is being so locked in over the next 10 years, through these games, through the 2030 games, and bringing it home in the 2034 games in Park City, Utah, that I'm not worried about all the extra side stuff and how pretty the venues are and all the cool things to do in these gorgeous locations. And I'm not trying to sleep on that. Like they are immaculately gorgeous locations. Um, but my training and my racing are the priority in my life. And what I see as the best option is do my job, win for the USA, and then after this whole thing is done, when I have a family and that part's ready, now I'm going to take my family, my wife, my kids. Hey, let's go to these locations. I want to show you the sport that I was doing for 10, 15 years. And now I can enjoy those venues. Now I can cheer on the next generation of sliders while the family is cheering them on as well. And I don't have the pressure of being locked in for racing. Now we're here as a vacation, here to enjoy the scenery, here to enjoy the uh, Olympic history that is of these villages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned that
Yeah,
that Park City, Utah. What would that mean for you to be able to compete out there?
that's honestly my end game. Like that's already happened in my mind. Like there's only one option when it comes to that, and to bring everything full circle on the track I started at, track I've done well at so far, and to bring everything full circle with some medals back home with my teammates on the podium as well, and honestly having USA sweep everything is the only option, and it will be one of the greatest moments of my life to celebrate with my teammates, my friends, and my family because it's only 2 hours away from my house, and so
Yeah,
I'm planning on everybody being there, and it's going to be one of the coolest moments.
that's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, who is your biggest motivation, or what is your biggest motivation through your career?
Yeah, so I go back to my childhood friends and everything. Like I said, I was a late bloomer. Like there was no question about it. And so thankfully, the friends that I had growing up were highly athletic because I wasn't. But they built me into the athlete that I could be. And so now that I'm the only one left pursuing an athletic career, I owe it to them to take it as absolutely far as possible, which is the top of the podium on the world stage, because in my eyes, I don't see it as fair to those guys and those coaches and mentors that helped me get to where I was and where I am now if I don't make the most, if I just don't make the best of it through the next 10 years.
Right.
That's pretty good motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still talk to those guys all the time. So it's great. And they're the first ones to humble me too. So don't let it get confused. They keep me where I need to be too.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, what type of music are you listening to get you ready before you're going head first down that sled? Like what's pumping you up?
Yeah, I'm old school, and this is thanks to my sister, right? Uh, I grew up on the late 90s, early 2000s rap and hip hop, so like Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent. Those guys are like the bulk of my playlist, and then you got some new guys like J. Cole and Kendrick and stuff like that in there, but 90% of it's going to be Eminem, and I'm rocking that. The last song I listened to before I Slide, it's the song he came out with the soundtrack on the movie Southpaw, the song Phenomenal. That is the last song I listened to before I step onto the ice.
Okay.
That's a good one. As such a fan of Eminem, do you got a favorite album from him?
Uh, I don't I don't have a favorite album. I'll be honest. This last one, the Death of Slim Shady, was really good. I really enjoyed kind of the throwback beats and bringing Slim Shady back into existence. And the talking back and forth between Eminem and Slim Shady. I was all in last summer. I'm still listening to it.
Yeah.
That one was really good. And then Kamikaze from 2017, 2018, something like that, came out during one of my last years of college football. So that was some core memories like from those songs in there too.
Right. Well, that's awesome, man.
Sounds like you got a nice little playlist over there for you.
Yeah. I unfortunately I'm not in depth with music, so I'm like I stick with what I know, and all of my teammates, and we're in the gym and everything, they're like, who wants to be on the aux? And I'm like, I don't, because we're gonna listen to the same set of songs all the time. I need you guys to show me new music.
Yeah.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little throwback though. Just go ahead and take the aux in. Because some of the people might not even know those older songs, so you might need to
Right.
put them.
You're right. You're right.
Well, I think that's all the questions we got for you. We definitely appreciate you coming on. But before we get out of here, you want to tell the people where they can follow you at to stay up to date with what you got going on?
Yeah, you can follow me. Best place is going to be Instagram. It's just Andy_Whittier_ there. And then my website, andywhittier.com. I keep posted on there about the articles and everything that's going on as well. Those two top places. If you want to find me on more social media, it's just my name, just Andy Whittier, a dude dressed in red, white, and blue suit that you see on that back television right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great picture, by the way. Very
Uh,
professional.
yeah, they did a bang up job making us look good. Our headshots last year.
We wish you the best of luck in everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to be rooting for you. We're going to be definitely tuned into the bobsledding events and everything.
I appreciate that. If you guys ever find yourself in Park City, Utah, we do take tourists, Park City or Lake Placid. We do take tourists down skeleton and bobsled rides, summer or winter.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Come feel the G forces. We're pulling 5 to 6 Gs between some of these curves.
Wow.
Okay. We might need to check that out, man.
Yeah, I'm
Make a
saying.
Utah trip.
I highly recommend.
Yeah. Well, hey, Andy, we appreciate you so much for coming on and having a conversation with us. It's been great.
I appreciate you guys. It's been awesome.
Yes, sir. All right. Until next time, guys, we out.
Peace.